Hey J members, it's Marcia. I have another strength, core, and stretch class for you. So, as usual, make sure you have water, a towel, and somewhere where you have a little bit of room to move around. So let's come on all fours. We are going to bring our hands under our shoulders, really spread out the fingers nice and wide. The elbows are going to come forward, biceps to the front, belly is nice and high, away from the floor. Inhale, let's lengthen, look up, and then exhale. Start with squeezing your glutes, tucking the tailbone under, and really get a little flexibility and movement into that spine. You're going to go at your own pace, your own breath cycles. I would say do at least 3 or 4 total. And if it feels comfortable for you and you want to bring your fingertips towards your body, stretching out the forearms, maybe you want to go ahead and look over your shoulders towards the feet. Remember, this is all for you, so do what feels good. Alrighty, now we are going to stay on all fours. You're going to lift your right arm up in line with your shoulder, push your hips back, and then bring your right arm through under the left for a little bit of shoulder movement. And then we do that again. Arm out in line with the shoulder, lifting up the chest, and then pushing through, and the hips coming back. One more time. Here we go. Inhale. Up with a little twist. Exhale, pushing back, right side of your face on the mat. And we release. Good. Looking over that right shoulder and gently pushing the left rib cage to the left. So we're stretching out the side, a little bit into the hip, coming towards the center. Do it to the other side, looking over the left shoulder and pushing that right rib cage out. Keep your breath coming, and then we're going to come back to the center, extending that left arm, lifting up, and pushing the hips back, coming through, collapsing that left shoulder towards the mat, the left side of the face. 3 total. Your pace. Your breath. Here we go. Just loosening up a little bit. Push the hips back. Should feel good in your low back. I have one more left. Coming up. And pushing down and rotating that shoulder. Excellent. We're going to rotate the hips a little bit. Internal and external rotation. So we are going to lift that right leg up. Kind of that fire hydrant. Then without dropping the thigh, just turn that knee in towards the floor and lower it without touching the mat. 3 times. Lifting up, coming under, pushing that hip back down towards the floor. So you feel on that first move, that hip is opening up, and then you're circling back down. Good. We're going to do the opposite. So we're starting with our lift. We're opening up the knee to the side. Make sure you distribute the weight between your hands. Don't push too much into that left side. 2 more. Up, lifting the knee. Keep that thigh nice and high and bring it down. 1 more. Up, lift and rotate. Keep that belly nice and tight. And bring the knee down, push your hips back, extend your arms, come into a stretch through the upper, mid, and low back. Here we go. Let's do the other side. Stay where you are. I'm just going to turn so you can see the left side. Here we go. Left knee up and lift. Keep the thigh up, rotate under, and bring it back down. Here we go, nice big circles. As I lift that left knee, I have to push a little bit harder into that left hand to my weight in the center, in between the hands. Here we go, one more, 3 total. And if you want to do more, if this feels good, you want to go slower, do fewer, great. I am reversing, lifting, up and open up that hip and bring it down. This feels really good, you guys. Hopefully for me and for you. So we're all having a little bit of a benefit here. Having the benefit of staying into our own home. Breathe through it. Bring the knee down. Pushing back. Extending again. Couple breaths here. And then we slowly come back up. And we are coming into a bear plank. All right, so again on all fours, and I have to excuse myself because I left my water right there next to my iPad. So come on all fours, so you know the drill by now. Curl your toes under, and we are just going to lift the knees a little bit. Here we go, 1, 2, 3, lift. Belly is up. Again, rotate the inside of the elbows and the biceps to the front. Engage your back. Little more holding. I want to make sure that you are not bringing all that weight forward into the shoulders. We need to start feeling that not only in the core but also in the thighs. Hold it for just a couple more. And bringing the knees down. Good. We're going to go 2 more times. We are going to bring a little bit of an extension into the legs. So if you need to watch, we're going to come into a bear plank and then touch one leg back at a time. So again, not too much rock and rolling in that body. Engage your core, engage your back. Use the foot that is staying on the floor. All 5 toes are helping me balance everything out. I have my last 2 coming up. We're not going too fast. We are controlling here. Last one coming up, and another hold right here. Heat into the whole body. A great warm up here. Breathing into the chest and the sternum. We want to keep the belly tight and engaged. Knees down. Open up your knees. Come into a child's pose. Give yourself a little bit of a breather here before we come on our back. We are going to keep our legs lengthened, a little bit off the floor. Our upper body, our shoulders slightly away. My hands, my palms together. First, you're just going to hold. Make sure you squeeze the glutes. Make sure you keep that low back into the floor. If you can, without hands, come sit up. Knees stay bent. Kind of a boat pose. Up and hold. So lift your spine, lift your chest to the ceiling. Push your shoulder blades down towards the hips. And then feet down, knees stay bent. Arms nice and long. Lifting up the right leg, leaning back slightly. Twist only to the right. Now this is coming into a Russian twist pose. One of the most important things here is that you keep that right leg still. It does not move. Flex your foot. You are going to feel that right thigh engaging. 2 more. Last one. Good. Lift that chest. Roll slowly down. Second pendulum. Second hold. We are using the pendulum, which means I am swaying gently. Very small move. My feet, my legs from side to side. Keeping that torso still. Couple more. Let's come back up, into that boat. You can hold on to the back of your thighs. You have to engage the muscles in your back the muscles in your stomach. You have to breathe, calmness, and putting the foot down, keeping the right foot down this time, lifting the left, turning and twisting. So you can see I keep my elbows nice and straight. I keep my back, my spine nice and long. My hips are not able to move, which is wonderful. I don't have to worry about that. All I have to worry is feeling that fire settling into my left oblique. Here we go. Give me 2 more. Last one. Leg is down. Lift your chest here and then curl your tailbone under so you can sit back behind the sit bones, stretching the back. We have 1 more coming up. Alrighty, making it back into our pendulum. Here we go. Lifting up the chest, lifting the legs, little bit of a movement. You should feel that whole core, the whole front engaging here. No escaping. Squeeze your glutes so your hips do not sway from side to side. 2, 1. Boat post coming up, and lift. Holding. See if you can maybe bring your arms up, overhead, still holding. Arms back to the front. Legs are down. Good. Start with both feet on the floor. We are twisting right and left here. We're going to do 6 total. Here we go. Give me 4. 2. If you want, go ahead, lift up both feet for 6, keeping the legs still. 3, 2, 1. Hands on the shins. Press into the shins, lift your chest. Now round the back, sit back behind the sit bones, and release. Excellent. Alrighty, we are coming on our belly. We're going to do a little bit of back work because we do remember that the core has lots of different parts, and yes, it does include the back. So, arms coming overhead. We're starting in a Superman, so my legs are diagonal, my arms are diagonal. I am going to lift my right arm and my left leg off the floor. Here we go. Up. And bring it down. Left hand, right leg. Press into the right palm. And release. Switch again. Now I don't want you to think about how high you can go. I want you to think about fingertips moving away from the toes. My spine is long. My focus is on the floor. Neck extending through the spine. Here we go. We have 1 more coming up. Lift. And we release. Excellent work. Alrighty. Arms and legs stay overhead. We are just going to come into a little bit of a swimming motion. So that means, again, opposite arm, opposite leg, moving small, not a big move, moving slow, 2 more slow, go fast, hop, 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 keep moving, keep breathing, 4, and 3, give me 2, keep going, last one, and hands down. Good. Bring your hands right next to your shoulders. Keep your feet down, elbows to the back. We're going to come up into a little baby cobra, stretching our abdominal wall. Shoulders down and back. Push yourself up into a child's pose. Here we go. Nice and long. And as you exhale, I want you to press your hips a little bit more towards the feet. So you get more length in the lats, in the low back. And then we gently come up to a standing. We are going to grab 1 weight. You can make it fairly heavy. We're going to bring the weight between our palms, come into a squat position, which means feet slightly wider than hips, toes slightly turned out, everything coming from the heels. The arms, all I'm going to do is rotate up and down with the ends of that weight. So here we go. As we go down, up and rotate. Again, down and rotate. Inhale here, come into an exhale. Inhale. Keep going. If I look at you from the side, right, those hips are slightly above the knees. I'm pushing my hips back as though somebody holds out that chair. Up, last one. Now I want you to just think, how did you start? Most of you will have started on the way down with your right arm up. Keep that in mind. Open up the feet, elbows to the side without moving that weight. We're working the chest, elbows open. The weight is about chin height. As I bring my elbows to the center, I want to engage that upper back. I am gently squeezing the shoulder blades towards the center. Not too much rounding, just contracting in the chest. Here we go, 2 more. Last one. Now down and hold. Elbows in line with the shoulders. Just lift, little lifts. As you lift, I want you to press the palms into the weights. You're going to feel your chest, you're going to feel your deltoids, your triceps, the outside of the upper arm, the back of the upper arm moving. 4. Give me 2. And 1. Release. Good. Coming back into the squats. Now as I go down, I lift it on my right arm, start lifting your left. Here we go. We go down and lift. Make sure to fire up here through those heels. As you come up, I want you to relax your knees and not give me that push and that tuck with the hips. Up, down. I use my exhale, I use my core to come up, coming through the heels. I have 2 more. And lift. Last one. And lift. Good. Shake it out a little bit. Feet hip width, toes parallel. Roll the shoulders up and back. We come down. My weight is maybe just below my kneecap. I come up, elbows out and open. Down and up. So you can see that I am just hinging from the hip here, right? My spine stays in line with my neck, in line in relation to my hip. My core is tight. As I bring my elbows out to the side, I want you to gently squeeze your shoulder blades together. Up. 4 more. Up. Neck is long. Give me 2. Last one. Up. Lift. Down and up. Grab a little water. Keep that weight. I want you to grab another one. You might want to go down just slightly in weights. We are going to come into a split step. My left leg is front, my right leg is back. Come into a little wider split step so you can move that upper body slightly forward. Palm is facing you. I am lifting my elbow, coming into an extension, Now, as I bend that elbow again, I'm coming back into a bicep curl. Elbow is under the shoulder, and then I release. So we lift, extend, bend, come back, and release. Again, lift, extend, keep that upper arm up, bending, bring that upper arm back to the front, release. Again, hop, 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 hop through, and down. I know my muscle memory is telling me to not bring that elbow front, but I want something different. Adding a little bicep here. Predominantly, you should feel the back of your arm. You should feel that tricep moving. Make it very controlled on the way back. Right? There's a lot going on, bringing it back with those joints, shoulder and your elbow. So we want to be gentle. As you come back to the front, you're going to have to use your core. Keep it still. Hop. We have our last one coming up. We're going to hold the extension. We come up. We hold. We breathe. Keep that right shoulder nice and closed in. And we release. Good. Shaking out that arm. Here we go. We're going to do another one. Same arm, same kick back. Now, I am going to do the kick back, but with my palm to the front. It's going to look like up, extend. Now bring it back, back, back into the bicep curl, and release. Bring it up, extend. Bring it back, and down again. Breathe. Yeah, you should feel your arms by now. If it's too much, make sure you go down a little bit and wait, but do the same on the right as you did on the left. Here we go. Hop. Coming in. Release. Last one. Up and hold. 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 And release. Shake out that arm. Good work. Face front. We will do the other side. Here we go. We are going to keep your left arm at a 90-degree angle. Remember that upper arm in line, shoulder and elbow. My right arm is going to just come into a bicep curl. I want you nice and stable in that upper body. Nothing moving there. That left arm stable. That bicep is working. You exhale on the way up and you inhale on the way down. Here we go. And 2. And 1. Good. Halfway up with the right. Let's move the left. Bringing it up. So you should be able to wiggle those fingers on both hands every once in a while, right? Getting a little release. Remembering always, if we over squeeze, our blood pressure goes up, and we are not trying to achieve that, right? Again, 2 more. Controlled, upper arm nice and still, elbow under the shoulder. Last one, everything releases. We're coming into a bicep curl on a little diagonal. Now you just worked that right bicep. Right? You stabilize that arm. That should be the one that you're actually going to feel a little bit more right now, even though you move the left arm. Sometimes holding and breathing through it and pausing is harder than to keep going. Here we go. Last one. Now palms to center. We're coming into a full hammer curl. Same principle applies, right? Upper body, nice and still. Navel slightly back to the spine. Remember to engage that core on a scale of 1 to 10. That belly moves back, that navel moves back to the spine only on a 3. Here we go. 2 more. Last one. All right, we have our triceps coming up on the left, so step your right foot forward. Leaning a little bit over that right leg, palms to the center, to you. Hop, extend, come back, come back, come back, hop, and release. We lift. In that tricep kickback, we are aware that we are working behind our back with our arm. So that means your core is going to have to tighten up even more. It's more work to stabilize the core when we're working behind our body. Just a different plane we're moving into. Hop. Come in and rotate that shoulder. Keep it forward. We have one more coming up after this. And this is the hold and extend. Hold that kickback, hold that extension. Hold, hold. Keep the breath coming. And we release. Good. Little shaky. Shaky off the shoulder. You're not shaky. Palms to the front. Here we go. Lift. Extend. Coming back. It should be getting pretty tight, pretty hard, right? That burn. Setting in. Lactic acid. Release. Which means muscle fibers are breaking down. We're going to rebuild those tomorrow. So if you can do something a little bit different tomorrow, maybe some cardio, maybe some stretching. We offer enough classes, live and online. Last full one. Up. And we have the extension. Are we ready? Lift, hold, breathe, breathe, and bring it down. Excellent work. Put the weights down, stretching out the arms just a little bit. Hands behind our back. Make sure you tuck your tailbone under, lengthen the elbows, and maybe you can lift it a little bit. Behind our back, make sure you don't stick the booty out. You need to tuck it back in. Good. Do whatever you need to do here. As I look at my cheat sheet, we did all those. We did all those. Alrighty, let's go into lunges. 2 weights, nothing too heavy here. Alrighty. Let's keep our left foot down. We are going to come into a lateral lift. Just watch the move first. I'm lifting. I'm down. I'm twisting. And I touch my heel onto the floor. Again, lift and down. As you twist, bring your thumbs up towards the ceiling. Both my palms are facing the right side, right? So palms down, lower arms. Now palms to the front. I would love to see the arms shoulder height both times, and keep the arms, most importantly, keep them in line with your shoulders, right? Let's make sure we take care of our rotator cuff. Hop with a twist and coming down. Good. Last one. Hop. Release. Coming down. Good. That right foot is going to step down. Left leg back. We're coming into a lunge. Same move. The only thing is we're not coming up. Side with the arm. Down, rotate, and here. We go hop, down, rotate. Good. Not above the shoulders yet. And down. We lift, we rotate, palms to the front. One more. Hop. We rotate and we release. Good. Coming down, lunge and straight. Just lunges. So focus on that right heel As we come up, I press through that right heel. I balance myself out through the left toes, all 5 pressing into the floor. We come down, we lift, hands on the right thigh, exhale, stepping through, kicking the legs out a little bit. Good, lifting the knees. Good work, everyone. Alrighty, let's do the left. Right leg stays. Remember here, we lift, we lower arms, now rotate towards the left. And now we touch that left heel down. Lift, everything, arms down, rotate. This is tough, I'm sweating. I hope I'm not the only one. Up. Rotate, arms in line with shoulders. And release, good. As you lift that left knee, I want your upper body to slightly move towards that left thigh, not behind the hips. Up. Good. Focus. And down. Lift. Lower arms. Bring it up. Let's give me one more. We go again. Up. Release. Rotate. And down. Keeping that left foot, stepping the right foot back. I got little sweaty palms here. Alrighty. Staying in the lunge. So make sure your feet are hip width apart. We're coming down, lower, rotate. No movement in the legs. I would love to see that left thigh parallel to the floor. Bring it up. Upper body does just a little bit of a twist. I know you're going to have the tendency to lean back with those shoulders behind the hips. And down. Again, up. And rotate. Give me one more. Rotate. Good. Come into the lunge. Here we go. Lower and up. Upper body, what is it doing? Absolutely nothing. This move comes from my legs. Now the inside of my upper body, my core, is very active. And press through the heel, press through that left heel. Last one coming up. Here we go, your best one. And bring it up, hands on left thigh, stepping in, shaking it out. Put the weights down for now. Grab a little drink. Just a little bit of a break. So I can towel off, because talking and doing this, 2 different things, right? Absolutely. All right, no weights. We are going to work a little bit on balance here. So we're going to keep that right foot on the floor. We are going to bring the left foot on the inside of our ankle if we want to stay down. You can bring it a little bit higher, or you can bring that left foot all the way on the inside of your thigh. Now, my foot is really important here. I am pressing the sole of my foot into the inner thigh, right? I'm lifting myself up and out of the floor, bringing my arms first into a 90 degree. We are only going to hold here. If you want to extend your arms, extend into a V. Now your arms are up, your shoulders are still down. Shoulder blades are active. See if you can bring your palms together, index fingers pointing up. Now I have an ability to really lengthen more, right? My arms lengthen, my spine lengthens, my legs grows out of that floor. And then we slowly open. We're coming back the same way we went. 90 degree. Slowly down. Good. Both feet hip width apart. I'm going to come into a little bit of a hinge. I'm coming into that 90-degree angle again with my arms. All I'm doing is I want to bring those shoulder blades down towards my hips. So the primary mover here are my shoulder blades, my back. My arms just kind of follow along. This is not what I'm looking for, right? Lots of tension in that back. Little bit maybe of a hinge. You don't need to do much. Hop. Give me 4. Press the shoulder blades down. 2 and 1. And we release. We're going to come into the other balance. So one foot might be friendlier than the other. That's okay. If you need a wall, if you feel you're losing your balance, go ahead and grab that wall. Remember the sole of the foot into that inner thigh. And I am gently moving my knee to the back. Right? I want a little bit of a hip opener. Start in the 90. Remember that move that we just did using the shoulder blades. Keep the shoulder blades active. If you want, come into a V. Palms of the hands can be anywhere. Maybe you can bring your palms together. Maybe you can lengthen those elbows. I feel if I lengthen my arms, I have a tendency to lengthen my whole body up towards the ceiling. We are fighting gravity. Find something, a spot on the wall or the floor, something that's stable, not moving. Come back into the V with the arms. Shoulder blades down, shoulders away from the ears. 90 degree with the arms. And then we bring it down. I lost my balance. No big deal, right? Alrighty, 2 weights, nothing too heavy. We are going to make sure that we keep our elbows, our upper arms lifted at all times. So we are getting into the burn of the shoulders, which is awesome. Making sure here, yep, this is my last one. And then we're actually going to come back onto the floor to do some inner thighs. Here we go. Looking at it from the side. Elbows lifted. Now I am opening up. Elbows lifted. Palms to the front. Slightly in front of my body. I press. I lower. And back. So here my pinkies should be towards the center. Right? Opening up. Pinkies to the outside. Press. Down, rotate in. Here we go. Open and press and lower. Palms to you, palms to you, palms to me, to your front. Up. As you press up, I want you to check without lifting your chin. Look up towards the ceiling. Do you see your weight slightly in front of you? Right? That is easier for my core and better for my low back. I still want those shoulders to be slightly in front of the hips. It's burning. It's working. Give me 2 more. Don't give up. Open. Exhale on the push. Lower. And release. Here we go. Open. This is your last one. Up. Down. Center. And slowly release. Good. Rolling the shoulders. All right, everyone, put the weights down. Grab your left elbow with your right wrist. The left elbow is going to stay nice and extended. Moving the arms over to the right. Look over the left shoulder. All right, left arm is nice and strong. Through the elbow. Up. See if your back hand, your left hand, can touch between the shoulder blades. Watching out for that core. And we're switching. Right elbow, long, left wrist to the right wrist. bringing it across, shoulder, deltoids, the upper part of the arm, and the biceps. Here we go. Hold on to the bicep. Lift it up, and then reach back. Full stretch here, should feel good. And we release. Excellent work. All right, come on your mat, please. Let's come on our back. And I am coming into a bridge. Alrighty. Feet hip width apart. Here we go, pressing through the heels, squeezing the glutes, lifting up the hips. You should be able to wiggle your toes. If you want, you can clasp your hands under your low back. Maybe you can roll your shoulder blades together and come up on the triceps. You'll have more room. There's a little more lift here. Now release the arms, keep the hips up. Walk the feet together. Press into the left heel and lift that right leg up in line with the left. Lowering the left hip, don't touch the floor, and push it back up. We go again. Lower and lift. Should not take long here to feel the back of the leg, the hamstring, and the glute. Keep that leg in line with my hip. One more. Hop and hold. Lower that right leg towards the floor. Keep the left hip up. Don't touch the floor. Exhale, bring it back up. Right foot down. Opening up the feet. We have not touched the floor with our hips. Here we go. Squeezing the inner thighs together. Keep the hips lifted. You should feel the inner thighs here. You should feel the abductor and adductor inside and outside of your thighs. The whole leg is moving. It's working. Here we go. And open, release. Bring the knees to the chest. Good. Open up that low back. Maybe you want to circle the knees. Try to let go of the tension in those hips. Rolling. And we release. We're going to come into the other side. So our right leg should be working here. First, come into a full bridge. Lifting up. Holding here. Bring your arms right over your chest. Hands up to the ceiling. Bring your arms overhead. Bicep next to the ears. Arms away from the floor. Bring the arms right in line with the shoulders over our chest. Bring them next to your body. Drop your hips, but don't touch the floor. Here we go. We come up. Arms overhead. Nice and slow. Arms back through center. Lower everything. Don't touch the floor with arms or legs. Squeeze the glutes coming up. Lift and reach. Arms over our chest. Lower. We have one more. Nice and slow. Feel what's happening here in the back of your legs, in your glutes, in your core. Here we go. Arms to floor. Legs stay up. Feet walk in, everything into that right heel. We're lifting the left leg in line with the right. Lower the right hip and press it up. All right, that right glute should be on fire by now. If not, just keep going. You know, if you have more than an hour, go for it. Here we go. We're going to do a nice long stretch today. I'm doing good with time. Up and hold, keep that right leg up, lower the left leg, lower it as close to the floor as you can without dropping that right hip. Exhale, lift that left knee up, thigh next to thigh. Put the feet down, open up the knees. We have one more inner thigh left. Alrighty, everyone. Almost there. 4. On number 1, hold the squeeze. Coming up here. Hold and squeeze. Breathe through it. Open the knees, drop the hips, bring the knees to the chest. Good work. Alrighty, let's come over. We will stretch that outer hip in just a little bit. Let's come on over. I want one more plank from you. If you need a little sit, this is the time to do it. Okay. So, coming on a forearm plank. Remember, I would like to see your forearms in line with your shoulders and your upper arm. We are not coming into our triangle. We're staying open. Here we go. Feet hip width apart. And we're just going to hold. Hold, hold. Hopefully your hips are slightly below your shoulders. Your belly is pulled up. Your thighs are pulled up. Everything is active. Now, walk up onto the hands without rocking too much into the hips. Here we go. Closing up the feet. Bringing the biceps and the inside of your elbows again to the front. Hold, hold. We're going to walk down again. Elbow down, elbow down. Make sure the forearms are in line with your upper arms, your shoulders. Make sure you are not dropping that low back. You're going to keep it lifted. I am pressing a little bit my weight into my feet so my shoulders don't bear all the weight. We have one more climb up, up, and lift with a hold. Elbows and biceps, you know where they need to go. This is our last hold. Knees down, open up the knees. We're coming into a child's pose. So press the hips back. For now, just keep the elbows slightly bent. I want you to relax that back, your shoulders. If you are ready, you can lengthen the arms a little bit, using the palms to press your hips back. Let's walk our fingers to the left. You can keep your hands side to side, or maybe your right hand can come on top of the left. I want you to focus on pushing that right hip back towards the back heel. Shoulder, right shoulder is away from my hip. I'm going for length. Good. Now relax that right hand. Bring both hands over overhead. And all I want you to do is kind of push your right hip over to the right, a little bit towards that right heel. Holding here. Bringing the hips back to center. Keep the left arm overhead. And just thread the right arm under the left. We did this in the beginning, and hopefully now that you're warmed up and you're loose and everything has worked to its full extent, hopefully you can feel that you have gained a little bit of movement, a little bit of flexibility. Everything is warmer. All right, now turn the palm towards the floor as you thread the needle. There's a little bit of a different shoulder stretch coming in here. Palm comes back up, and maybe that left hand can walk over to the right. Again, your ability. This is a pretty intense shoulder stretch. Do whatever feels good for you. Good. Left arm comes overhead. Untangle the right arm. If you need a towel or a band in between the hands, forehead is down. If not, just clasp your hands behind your back, extending those arms. Maybe bring the hands towards the front. You should feel the stretch in your shoulders, your chest, and your arms. And then we release. Alrighty, we're going to come into the other side. So that means my hands are walking over to the right. My left hand can maybe come on top of my right hand. I am pushing with every exhale. I am pushing my hips a little farther away from my left shoulder. Now my arms back overhead, and I am kind of lifting and shifting my hips, my left hip over to the left. A little more stretch into that left hip. Hips center, right arm stays. Go ahead, thread the needle with the left. Keep your left palm up for now. You're coming down onto the left side of your face. Probably your temple is down, cheekbone. Turning the left palm towards the floor. Big stretch here, so breathe into wherever you feel the stretch most. Palm is up, maybe your right hand can travel across to the left. So both shoulders are stretching here. Right arm overhead, gently untangle the left. We're up on all fours for now. We're coming back into the cat-cow, and again, we did this in the beginning. I want you to feel on the inhale, let's see if we have a little more length, and on the exhale, maybe a little more rounding. Maybe a little more spinal movement. And you should give yourself a pat on the back for making it through another one. Excellent. Alrighty, let's lift the left arm up and the right arm down. I want you to go for length here. And then elbow to knee, rounding. Left hand down, right leg extends behind me and then comes across my body over to the left. My right pinky toe is down and I am looking over that left shoulder. And hopefully this feels good. Feels good for me. All right, we're coming back here. Let's go ahead and do the other. Yes, let's do the other side. Left arm, right arm, left leg. Sorry, I was already thinking ahead, but let's do the other side first. And we're rounding, elbow to knee. Feels good in that back. As you lengthen, belly stays up, right hand down, cross the left leg over to the right. Pinky toe down, outer blade of my foot is on the floor as we look over our right shoulder. Gaze back between our hands, foot is back, we're coming on our back. If you need a band here, we are going to stretch that IT band a little bit. But I want to get back into the hips because we did work those, especially in those bridges. So let's bring our right ankle on top of the left foot. Now all I want you to do in the beginning is anchor your left hip down with your left hand and gently press your right hand into the right inner thigh. Just this in and of itself should open up. You should feel this in your hips. We release, bring both hands under the knee, top of the shin, bring the knee towards the chest. And then again, ankle to knee, flex the foot, and then come behind that left thigh, bringing the knees towards your chest. Maybe the right elbow can put a little pressure into the right inner thigh. Breathe through this stretch. Put the left foot down, hold onto the back of your right thigh. Go ahead, just circle your foot, circle your ankle. Get a little movement back into the calves. Good. Both knees to the chest, rounding the back. Right foot down, left ankle on top. Anchor the right hip. Gently open up that left hip to the side. Keep the toes flexed, better for your kneecap. Come under the kneecap with both hands. Bring the knee towards the chest. And then open up again, left hip. We're coming behind that right thigh. One leg will be a little bit easier than the other. It's all good. No two sides are equal. They are always going to feel a little bit different. Right foot down, hold on to the back of that left thigh, and go ahead, circle the feet. Both sides. Good. Both feet down, open up the knees, bring the soles of the feet together. Again, maybe you want to press into the inner thighs a little bit. Back to center. Cross the right knee over the left. We're going to come into a nice twist here. Both knees to the left. Maybe you can look over your right shoulder and maybe your left hand can gently press the legs a little bit closer to the floor. If you want to go deeper into this, see if you can grab that left foot. We have done this. Bring the left foot up towards the hip. You're getting into the low back. You need to be very warm here, and you need to go very slow. Excellent. Release. We're staying on that left hip. I want you to grab the right ankle and then left foot, right foot back to the right glute. I want you to keep your left thigh on top of the right, closing it up, and all I want you to think about is gently pressing the right hip to the front. Hip flexor and quad. And we release. Good. Let's go into the left. We're going to cross the left over the right, coming to the right, looking maybe over our left shoulder, maybe pressing the right hand into the upper thighs so that they come a little closer to the floor. And again, if you want, grab that left foot, bring it closer. You do want to keep both shoulders on the floor here so that you feel a little twist in that lower body, in that low back, because that's what we're stretching. And if you press into that left thigh, you can feel that left hip working and opening up as well. Come on your right side. It is our left quad and our left hip that is stretching here. So don't worry where that left foot is going to go. Just push the left hip to the front. We're almost done here. And we release. Good. Bending both knees, I'm holding on to the back of my thighs. Now as I lift my legs up and straighten my knees, I am still pressing my belly button down towards my spine. I'm flexing my feet. I want to feel the stretching here of back of the legs. My tailbone stays connected to the floor. And then bend the left knee, put the left foot on the floor, hold on with the left hand to the outside of your left thigh or your calf or your foot. We're going to bring that leg across for the IT stretch. Right shoulder into the floor, acknowledging that this is not the easiest of muscles to stretch. As always, let your breath release the muscle that is most tight. And then we release, Good. Keep that right foot on the floor. Just extend the left leg. Hold on to the foot, the calf, or the thigh as we cross over. Once we're into this weird little pretzel stretch, just kind of melt into that pose with every out breath, with every exhale. See if you can release. Find out where that tension is. And then we release everything. We stay on our back. We open up the feet to the edges of the mat, and we're bringing our knees to the center. Just kind of scan your body right now. Everything should be relaxed. Everything should be warm. Take 2 deep in and exhales. And then you can either stay on the floor or you can come up. And I am glad you were with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. We will put some more online in the coming weeks. Just so keep checking the schedule and enjoy.